I am the Court Communications Officer for the 7th Judicial Circuit. This is the trial court circuit for 4 counties in Florida. Florida has a very strong tradition of government in the sunshine and also has a very, very open Public Records Act. And so as a result, court is very open. Cameras have been allowed in courtrooms for more than 30 years. The important case for Florida was a 1975 petition by a group of television stations called the Post-Newsweek Group. And in 1975, the Post-Newsweek Group petitioned the Florida Supreme Court to be allowed in the courtroom without prior permission from the judge and the parties involved. There had been cameras in the courtroom prior, but there were different rules, and usually you had to get permission, and so that made it challenging to try and cover court for the free press. So as a result of that petition, there was an experiment in which cameras were allowed at a trial, 2 trials in Jacksonville, a civil trial and a criminal trial, just to see how that would operate and what kind of rules they would need to devise. And then in 1979, the Florida Supreme Court did approve the petition and allow cameras in the courtroom without any kind of prior approval. Cameras are allowed pretty much in any kind of open court proceeding in Florida, and the vast majority of court cases are held in open court. That creates an interesting dichotomy, for example, in juvenile delinquency cases. So when you have a child who is accused of a crime in Florida, the case itself is considered confidential as far as all the records. You can't read the case file, you can't read any of the court documents. However, because the delinquency cases are heard in open court, there are cameras that are allowed, and cameras have covered some of the more high-profile juvenile delinquency cases. It's very rare for a judge to close a court proceeding because of the presumption that court should be open. It's this is public. It should be open to the public, and therefore, only under extraordinary circumstances does a judge even close the courtroom. So for high-profile cases in particular, the standard for trials is to have a pool camera, meaning one television camera that provides a feed to all the TV stations that are demanding the coverage. And then on the flip side, for print, there would be one still photographer who would then provide all the photographs to any print media that is covering the case. And that is the standard. So for the Casey Anthony trial, for the George Zimmerman trial, and for the most recent high-profile trial here, which was the Xbox murder case, those were done via pool situation.